Today, I am here to talk about this past Sunday's race at the Talladega Superspeedway. It was very exciting. I will break down the whole top five. But I'm here also to give y'all my top five for this upcoming weekend race at the Dover International Raceway. It's going to be a fun one here. Last year in the spring, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4 finish by the Hendrick Motorsports Group. Will they be that dominant this year? Time will tell. And I'm also here to mention that I'm doing a Pick 5 contest for this Sunday's race, and to be entered, it's pretty simple. Just comment down below in the comment section your top 5 to be entered, and who knows, you may win a prize. But let's get started.
Hey, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here at Kroger, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Before I talk about this Sunday's race at the Dover International Raceway, I am wanting to talk about Talladega for a brief moment. This past weekend, the NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and ARCA Menard Series headed out to the 2.66 mile track in Talladega, Alabama to race at the Superspeedway. And in all three series, we had a crazy and phenomenal race. In the ARCA race, in years past, the ARCA racing on the Superspeedway hasn't been, good to watch. I remember the time when we saw Drydene Motorsports just opening up 30-second gaps between fifth place, and not what you're looking for when it comes to catching audience. But since then, the field has gotten a lot tighter, and this year, it was tightest it's ever been in the past. And Nick Sanchez got the win. The race was called short by 14 laps because the race was going well beyond the TV time because of a lot of wrecks and red flags. And they did not want to interfere with the Xfinity race because the Xfinity race was starting at 5 o'clock and sunset was just 3 hours later. And it's Talladega, anything can happen, and races can sometimes go over the TV length and coverage, so they didn't want to push it and did not want to have the risk of ending the race in darkness, so they just called the ARCA race early so Xfinity can start on schedule. The Xfinity race started, and we saw a lot of crazy moves and blocks occur. And at the end of the race, push came to shove, and we saw wreck after wreck. And at the end, when it was all said and done, we saw Justin Allgaier about to lead the field to the green flag for the second or third overtime finish. I'm not too sure. I forgot. There was a lot of them. He ran out of fuel, and Noah Gragson chased down Allmendinger, and he beat Allmendinger to the line. And at first, I thought it was an illegal move. He passed Allmendinger, and he should have just waited till he crossed the start and finish line. He had a head start. But Noah Gragson went on to win the race, and my man Jeffrey Earnhardt came home second. Big day for him, but also Richard Childress and the history of that 3-car, and my man Larry McReynolds. A big day overall in NASCAR racing. But Sunday rolls around, and the anticipation for the race is building up because there are drivers that are struggling in the point standings on trying to work their way up, and they view Talladega in these superspeedway races as an opportunity to equal the playing field and have a chance for them to go to victory lane. Some drivers like Corey LaJoie, Justin Haley, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Bubba Wallace, those are the drivers that were looking forward to Talladega as they had a chance of winning this race and locking themselves into the playoffs, because right now things aren't promised to them for a playoff run, and they have to get out there and outperform the competition. But the race started, and early on, we saw a big wreck at the end of stage 1. We saw Daniel Hemrick starting to blow up, and it caused a big checkup behind him, and Hemrick went below the double yellow line because he got bumped by Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch was not expecting this at all, and it was not intentional. It was just a racing incident, and it caused the 16 car to come back up into the 14 car Chase Briscoe, and Briscoe hit that wall a ton. He got out on his own, and Chris Buescher and Austin Cindric were also involved in the wreck. But man, you hate to see them things happen. Just an innocent bystander for the Briscoe camp and Cindric and Buescher camp. Nothing they can do about it. But the race continued on, and we saw another big wreck. And no, it wasn't after they were already restarted for laps upon laps. It happened on the restart. As soon as they got across the line, Logano got bumped by the 23 car Bubba Wallace, and it sent Logano into the wall, and he came back down, and a chain of reaction occurred where a lot of cars hit him and hit the wall, went to the grass, hit the wall, hit the grass. But it went back and forth. It was crazy. We saw Stenhouse get knocked out, Ty Dillon, and so on. Just a crazy moment. You never see that happen. But the race continued on, and they kept on running until the final pit stops occurred. And I was surprised. They ran that last stage pretty much on just a couple of cautions. That was it. Crazy. Did not expect that. But on the final pit stops, we saw Brad Keselowski, one of the favorites and dark horses at the time, have a speeding penalty for the second time in the day. Not ideal, and he went down a lap. And that ended his chances of checking off a win for the season and heading into the playoffs. But his time will come, but it's not Talladega. But the race continued on. Eric Jones and Kyle Larson were up front. To the last lap, Eric Jones had the lead. Had a big margin between him and second place coming off of turn 4 on lap 188, which is the final lap. Larson had a run. He backed up to Chastain. Larson went high. Jones went high to block. And Larson got bumped by Jones, which bumped Kurt Busch into the wall. And a big wreck occurred behind the field. And Ross Chastain won the race. Following up in him in second place was the 3-car of Austin Dillon. A great outing for him. His second top 5 finish in the last 3 weeks. Things are building up for this young driver from North Carolina. Third place was the 18-car of Kyle Rowdy Busch. Last weekend was a winner. This week is third place. I bet you he will take that. Super Speedway races are a big unknown. And you get what you get, and he got a third place finish, and I'm sure he's glad to have it. Fourth place was the 5-car of Kyle Larson, his first career top 5 finish on a super speedway. He is now 1-for-31. How about that? The young driver from Elk Grove, California. And then rounding out your top 5 was the 19-car of Martin Truex Jr. from Marietta, New Jersey. Had a great day today. Was competitive. And yes, the 19 car is going to be a force to reckon with once Toyota gets their hands around this new package. Not like the super speedways. Yes, you do not judge a team's performance on super speedway, but like in weeks past, Truex has gotten better and better and better. And today, it's just built up his confidence as he heads into Dover, one of his better tracks on the schedule. So who knows? He might be someone to fight for the win this Sunday at Dover. There he goes. There's the top 5. My driver of the week is Kyle Larson. Had solid stage points in both stage 1 and in stage 2, and got his first career top 5 finish on a super speedway. But yes, there is Talladega. Now on to Dover. Last year, when the NASCAR Cup Series headed out to the Dover International Raceway for their one race of the year, we saw Hendrick 1, 2, 3, 4. Alex Bowman getting the win, Kyle Larson getting second place. Third place was the 9-car Chase Elliott, and the 4th place belonged to William Byron in the 24-car. And this time around, I do not believe not all 4 of them will finish in the top 5, let alone top 10. But I do believe at least 2 will finish in the top 5, and I'll get to that in a minute. But winning this Sunday's race at Dover has got to be the 14-car of Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe has been very competitive this year. And whenever they race at this type of package they're about to run this weekend at Dover, he's usually up front, leading laps and being competitive. We saw him sneak a win out in Phoenix because of a long run pace, and I don't expect too much difference here at Dover because you will see some long run pace starting to come into effect, and that's what the teams are probably going to generally set their cars for instead of having a short run car. But Briscoe will win this race, mark my words. And to add a little bit to it, he's won in the past here in Xfinity, so it shouldn't come as a big surprise. Second place will be the 1-car of Ross Chastain. Chastain, my man, has 2 wins so far this year for Trackhouse Racing after making the switch from Ganassi Racing as they shut down. But man, Chastain has got it going, and he will be coming off a win, so he's going to be a force to reckon with, and I believe second place will be his outcome this Sunday at Dover. Third place would be the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. I believe he will have a great run. But yes, third place, he will have to settle for it. Rounding out for your top 4 for the time being will be Kyle Larson in the 5 car. Kyle Larson had a great weekend at Talladega, grabbed some solid stage points in both stage 1 and in stage 2, and brought home his first career top 5 at a super speedway. Now he was 1 for 31 in super speedway races in his lifetime in the Cup Series. So that's a big achievement for him. I know it's something small, but it's a big deal to him. But your top 5 will be rounded out by the 24 car of William Byron. Last year, let's be honest here, William Byron was the 4th best Hendrick car. It was Kyle Larson by a mile. Alex Bowman was in 2nd, and then in a distant 3rd was Chase Elliott, and then by a mile was William Byron. But this year, the table has turned. I believe it's still Kyle Larson up front, then it's William Byron, then it's Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman is in last. That's what I believe. Personal opinion, but yeah, comment down below if you agree or disagree with me with that. But my dark horse will be the 43 car of Eric Jones. Had a great weekend at Talladega, led 25 laps, but was just cut short of the victory, a couple of 100 feet away from the start and finish line. Heartbreaker. His time will come, but everybody though, remember to please like and subscribe and comment down below your opinions to be entered in this Sunday's Pick 5 contest.